real now. I grew up where the rooster crows before the sunrise, where a handshake meant more than a compromise, where the Bible sat open on the kitchen table, and working for your blessings wasn't just a fable. Watch the world go sideways, watch the truth get bent, watch them sell the struggle but keep cashing the rent. They've been running the same play for 60 plus years, same promises, same poverty, same crocodile tears. They said, boy, stay in your lane, stay in your box, stay grateful for the scraps falling off of the docks. But my grandfather didn't bleed for me to bow. I'm standing in my freedom and I'm standing right now. Black conservative, yeah, they hate how that sounds, like it breaks all the rules that they laid on the ground. They need me dependent, they need me afraid, but I traded those chains for the truth that he made. They bring emotion, I bring the file. They bring the headline, I bring the trial. They've been running your city for 30 long years, still broken, still burning, but somehow with a fear. God first, flag high, truth don't run, truth don't hide. Unfiltered logic, say it with my chest, I keep receipts, I don't guess. Red, white, blue, I stand on that faith in my soul. Facts in my hand, they can spin, they can lie, but they can't stop truth when it's live. Unfiltered logic, yeah, I keep the receipts. Unfiltered logic, come and talk facts with me. Now here's the dish, they don't want on the radio, the liberal playbook, let me run you through the scenario. Call you racist if you question, call you Uncle Tom if you straight, call you dangerous and hateful if you just want to bait. They weaponize your feelings like a political tool, keep you angry, keep you marching, keep you playing the fool. Throw a hashtag on the problem, throw a slogan on the pain, then go back to their fundraisers in the private jet lane. They say they love the poor, while they price out the block, say they stand for the people while the people stay locked, say they fight for the children in their press conference suits, then defund the police in your neighborhood. There's your truth. I don't say this out of hatred, I say this cause I checked. I don't say this out of anger, I say this with respect for the truth, for the facts, for the folks being played. Wake up to the game before another generation's betrayed. They bring the talking points, I bring the proof. They got the teleprompter, I got the truth. They say don't ask questions, I ask why. They say sit down and follow, I stand high. God first, flag high, truth don't run, truth don't hide. Unfiltered logic, say it with my chest, I keep receipts, I don't guess. Red, white, blue, I stand on that faith in my soul. Facts in my hand, they can spin, they can lie, but they can't stop truth when it's live. Unfiltered logic, yeah, I keep the receipts. Unfiltered logic, come and talk facts with me. This ain't a color war, this ain't left or right rage. It's about waking up and walking off their stage. They built the script, they wrote your lines, they told you who to trust, but the moment that you think for yourself, they act like that's unjust. God over government, always has been truth over trends. That's how we win. Faith over fear, that's the foundation. Facts over feelings, that's the nation. They told me think one way, vote one way, stay one way or else. But I read the history, I check the numbers, I prayed on their answers and I woke up from the slumber. I'm not their mascot, I'm not their mouthpiece, I'm not their token, I am free. Standing on trends, standing on facts.
We all good?
Yeah. I just had to turn that music off. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unfiltered Logic. If you're new here, do me a favor. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. If you've been here before, also drop a 1 in the chat and let me know what state you guys are in. If you've been here before, do me a favor, drop a 2 in the chat. And man, today we got Barry with Back to the Basics. He's going to come up here and talk to us today about, we've seen that stuff going on with Fauci. Apparently, he pleads the fifth to everything he did wrong, and we just want to get our thoughts off about it today. How's it going with you, Barry? Yeah, definitely. How's it going today, man? How's everything going? Are you still on the road? Or are you done for the day?
Man, I'm down here in Georgia, getting ready to load up tomorrow. Be heading towards Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah. As you mentioned, watching that display that Fauci put on while I was driving today was pretty ugly.
Man, I was honestly getting irritated. I know we talked about it. I had to cut it off, man, because I was like, dude, you're just going to plead the fifth to everything? You're not going to say anything like you don't have a pardon or something?
It was basically just the Republicans answering for him.
Yeah, that's essentially all it was. That's all that it was. You guys let me know in the chat where you guys are from. We got Anamo Originals or Anam Originals. My bad if I said that wrong. A 1 in the chat. So you're new. Where are you from? Appreciate you tuning in too on YouTube. True Heart. We know True Heart being here before. Washington State. Okay. Kim is on here. Fred McGriff, my man. There we go.
What's up, Kim?
Got some love for Fred up in here, but I had to take note. You know what, Kim? I'm sorry because you know what? I was gonna do the go into different points of the video to actually capture what we were talking about, and then I was like, you know what? I don't want to get fucking copyrighted. So I changed a few plans. We're gonna just go to some clips that they clipped up already because the news clips all that shit up and puts it on headlines. So I'm sorry for asking you to do that, to switch it up. But I appreciate you doing that anyway because it was good to be able to see what's important. I definitely got some of those topics in here.
And I know she supports you the same, man. She's a good one to have you back with.
Definitely. And once again, y'all heard on the last episode, but if y'all need some hot sauce, all different flavors, mango habanero, all the different good stuff, and it's Texas made, y'all go check out Kim McGrath. She got the good stuff.
Yeah, she does. I got me some.
Yeah, I'm a sissy, man, when it comes to hot sauce, so I can't do it. But y'all check it out because I hear it's good. I can't do the hot sauce. Carrie says Fauci getting ranked over the coals. Yeah, he needs to get raked over the coals. He needs to get, honestly, I feel like they should take his pardon away. Once you start doing all that, I plead the fifth. And don't get me wrong, it is part of our constitutional rights to plead the fifth. But this is stuff that you're literally pardoned on. Joe Biden pardoned him for a reason. He didn't pardon him because it was Sunday. He didn't pardon him because it was his birthday. He pardoned him because he knew what he was doing the entire time he was in presidency and how he manipulated COVID to make a shitload of money. That's why he pardoned him. So when this comes out after I leave, because I know it will, because Trump is going to be on my ass and everybody affiliated with me, let me make sure I pardon him so that we don't have to deal with that shit. That's essentially all that was.
I feel like pleading the fifth was the worst thing he could do because he ran his mouth the whole time that COVID was here. He had no problem.
Mm-hmm.
He was on TV, like you say, making his money, doing his thing. And he had a chance today to put it out there and be honest, and he didn't, and it just made him look really bad. As they said, silence is guilt.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing you could do, especially in this day and age with the climate of how everything is politically, because you have a lot of people who will, we seen not that long ago. We seen that dude who forget, was it the dude over Pfizer got assassinated? It was somebody he was basically he was a CEO of a big pharma company, and he got assassinated a year ago, in broad daylight, because of this same type of shit. Yeah, and it's man, nobody learned from that? Is that we're just going to continue to do the same shit, especially whenever people are so ready to commit violence? Honestly, I don't get it. If it was me, I'd be like, shit, I'll tell y'all everything. Just don't put a bullet in my head. Like, please.
And his lawyer, you know, backed it up by saying, you know, that he already talked to the congressional committee and whatnot. So if he did, why is he afraid to say it again? Because new stuff was coming out and he didn't want to say it.
Well, his lawyer also got kicked out, so I mean, I guess there's that. He didn't want to say anything, but his lawyer couldn't shut the hell up. I don't know what that was about. That was insane to me, especially when it wasn't his opportunity to talk. But let's get into it. Let's see what's going on, because you know, for real, y'all, this pissed me off today.
I like Holly. Holly says it like it is.
Yeah, he sure did.
My rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color is the carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Let's just get one thing straight. You don't have any rights under the Fifth Amendment because you've been pardoned, as you very...
Man, I've been saying this all morning to you, back to the basics. You know this. I've been saying this all day. Like, what do you mean a pardon? You've been, I mean, what do you mean Fifth Amendment? You've been pardoned, motherfucker? Like, what the hell?
I can't hear the video, unfortunately. Something's wrong over here. I can't hear that.
Oh, you can't hear it? Oh,
Not
damn.
the video.
Maybe it's because your headset doesn't have like a for you to hear, or I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I remember what he said.
That...
I know what you're talking about when you said, you know, you're not supposed to be able to plead the Fifth, but that was a little confusing to me because they kept saying you can't do that, but they weren't stopping him from doing that. So I was getting a little confused on that.
Yeah, that made no sense to me either, and that's what I was saying in the chat. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, how are you pleading the Fifth when you have a pardon? Like, because that's the same thing they do if it's like a RICO case. Okay, well, we'll pardon you if you snitch. Okay, well, you have to actually be giving information to get a pardon for something that you did.
Right.
Why do you still have this pardon if you're not actually going to cooperate with the same government that gave you the pardon? You can't get, you know,
like they said it doesn't matter what you did, what you do, you're good.
Yeah, because the whole thing is the Fifth is to avoid incriminating yourself.
Right.
You can't be incriminated, motherfucker. Like, what are we doing?
Or he could incriminate himself, but it ain't gonna matter because he.
Yeah, it's not gonna do anything. Well, what's gonna happen? You're gonna, you know, get a fine. At the very most, you can't get incarcerated. So,
and you can't worry about his image. His image is already gone. So I don't. He wasn't protecting that.
Exactly. You can see the video though, right?
I can see it. Yeah.
Cool. I turned on the closed captions, so hopefully that helps at least a little bit.
Oh yeah, let me see.
Let me really quick catch up on these last 4 comments real quick. So we got Kim McGrath. Holly was a savage as fuck. Yeah, for real. He was savage doing that. He was going in. Matt, let's go back to the basics. Yes, sir.
Another great creator right there.
Yep. Yeah, Matt is another great creator. Actually, we got a few great creators coming up in these comments. So we got Matt Hayes. If you guys like my content, you guys will like his content too. Pretty much everybody on this panel right here. My boy, Back to the Basics, as well as Matt, as well as Ronnie. What's up, Ronnie?
It's good to see Ronnie on there. Definitely got to push his new Vetriot page. Got a nice new page going.
Definitely. Yeah, y'all go hit that follow button for both of them. There's some great creators. Kim said, what's up, Ronnie and Matt? Good people, good people. Ricky Kelly. Ricky Kelly is back. I know you back. They are not going to do a damn thing. You know, Ricky, you always in here telling the truth. You always in here telling the truth.
Right.
Matt Hayes said, why should we trust the medical advice from a guy who needed a pardon for the medical advice he gave? Man, your guess is better than mine. Your guess is, and now they have shit coming out talking about how the COVID vaccine actually hurt you more than it did anything.
Oh yeah, he had something happen to him. He had some sort of infection or infection, and if you Google it or whatnot, they talk about it. There's nothing proven that it has to do with that. But sometimes the
No, it
coincidence.
definitely does. Yeah, it is 100% connected. There was a report that came out like 3 months ago about that, where they were actually connecting the dots. I don't know how recently you Googled it, but it might even be updated from then. I mean, because now that Trump has been in office, they've been a little bit more open about outing out these fucking fraudsters that the Democrats allowed to do whatever the hell they wanted. So hopefully it's on Google now, since they came out with the new report. Ronnie said he's the largest mass murderer in human history. Yeah. Genocide has nothing on this dude. This dude,
Agree with that.
the amount of numbers that they came out with saying of people dying every week, there's no way. Slavery wasn't worse than this. The Holocaust wasn't worse than this. I mean, World War II was barely as many fucking, I probably doubt that it affected the country as bad as this did. A pandemic, a global shutdown was insane.
Well, because it goes well beyond the deaths that came from it. All the emotional and psychology type stuff that was affected with our kids not going to school, stuff like that. Like it's all still here. We're still seeing the effects of it. My kids want to do everything online or whatever. It's because they stop kids from learning how to deal with each other in person, and that's life. They basically took life away from them. In my opinion.
I think that's a large part of why people on social media are so outrageous now, is because we're so accustomed to being on our phones and away from people. And then as well that you notice people don't speak when they walk past you in Walmart anymore. It used to be, hey, how's it going? A nod, a wave or something. You don't hear that anymore. You just don't hear it anywhere you go at all. And so it definitely affected the youth way worse than it affected us, because they were accustomed to going to school every day for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden for 2 years, they don't have to go to school. They can do it online and be able to look up all the answers on their computer while they're doing the test. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. And we still had failing rates.
You got kids in the same room with each other, and they're not talking. They're literally texting to each other 6 feet away.
That's true.
6 feet away. Got to be 6 feet, though.
Yeah, I got to be 6 feet, though. All right, we got True Heart. I kept saying True Heart. True Heart. When he was being questioned, he was the most emo over being, or I guess you're saying emotional over being asked about funding gain of function. Should have asked creating a bioweapon. Yeah, they should have asked him about that, because he definitely did create a bioweapon. That's all that really was. They used that for chemical warfare. It's already came out about that. You just got to look in the right place to see that it's already been identified that COVID was chemical warfare. It just didn't do what they wanted it to do, essentially.
And I can't lie, I had no idea that they were so heavily involved in the funding for that lab. That in Wuhan, I never realized that Fauci and his people funded that lab. That's insane.
Yeah. I've been saying this for about 5-6 years now, but I haven't trusted anybody in any medical facility at all. I mean, they're not even, think about this. What other profession can you go to where they can fuck up and be like, oh, sorry, we're not actually professionals. We just practice in doing that. Yeah, we're not actually medical professionals. We just practice in medicine.
Yeah, sorry about what happened to you. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm sorry we amputated your arm on accident and put your teeth where your toenails go. But we just practice medicine. We don't know any better. What the fuck?
It is pretty crazy. You're talking life or death.
Yeah, and there's more people who die in a medical room than anything else. Anything else. Nobody dies more than from accidental deaths in medical hospitals. It's the number one cause of death is accidental deaths in hospitals. It's actually insane. All right, let's continue this. It threw me off so much when they said that, because man, I've been saying this.
Well, no. As the Supreme Court has been clear for a century and more, Brown versus Walker, 1896, when he has been pardoned, he may not stand upon his privilege. You know that. Your lawyers sitting behind you now shifting nervously in their chairs. They know it. This isn't about the Constitution. This isn't about the law. This is about contempt. Contempt for this body and contempt for the American people. But I think I know why you're doing it. It's because you don't want to answer questions. It's because you did all kinds of terrible things. It's because during the pandemic, you got rich, didn't you? You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally, cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you? That's a question.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
You remember, Greg?
Even when he's called out that he can't use the Fifth Amendment, and he lists out all the different things that he did to generate income for himself, what is his response? I plead the Fifth.
That's
like,
what I was saying. I couldn't figure that out. Like I felt like that maybe we were going to make progress when he told him you can't use it, and it didn't change. It didn't change nothing from Fauci's stance.
So who, and maybe I just don't pay attention to these enough, who would even have the authority to tell him, hey, look, you know, you can't continue? Because I feel like nobody even said anything. And even when he was like, hey, you know, you can't plead the Fifth, as they said in the Constitution, the case, and then started talking about how that's what he said. He said, your lawyers know that. That's why they're shaking right now when I said that. And I'm thinking, okay, well, somebody should jump in and say something now and be like, yep, you're right. You can't plead the Fifth anymore, Fauci. But no, it's just silent.
Have to start asking questions, answering questions at that point. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't understand how this works. And maybe I'm just not familiar enough with how this works, but it just seems so fucking stupid. Trueheart said it did. They were able to hype it up, but the actual death jab, to take the actual death jab, yeah, it was genocide. Donnie Fraser said, why is it that mass murderer like him have or not have to answer and is able to get out of it? Exactly, man. I couldn't agree with you more. I don't see, if I steal a pack of M&Ms from Walmart and they catch me on camera, I'm going to get in trouble. Like, there's no fading it. There's nothing around it. And not to mention, they're going to have all the evidence presented, and they're going to want me to respond to it. If something happens where I did something where I actually were going to get incarcerated, I need to at least testify, speak my part, something. I can't just say nothing. I have to plead guilty, not guilty, no contest. I have to say something. It's insane that this dude doesn't have to answer for anything.
It just comes down to that Biden pardon. It's disgusting, really. It really is.
Yeah, and people keep complaining every day. I hear complaints. Oh, Trump pardoned so many people this year. Trump pardoned so many people. Okay, but who did he pardon? Kodak Black? Who gives a fuck? We're talking about Fauci, who did a whole genocide in America and the world, and nobody's talking about, the pardons. I haven't heard not one person mention Biden and why did he pardon Fauci the whole fucking time. Since Biden left office, nobody mentioned it. I seen it happen. I looked for it online thinking somebody was going to be talking. No, nobody spoke about it.
Yeah, because what did he pardon him for? He wasn't going to jail. He wasn't in jail. What did he pardon? He pardoned him for potential things like this, right?
That's straight up what Biden said too, for potential things. And then he mentioned how he believed the Trump presidency was going to come for him. No, the American people have been informed about your bullshit that you didn't want us to know about because you were censoring us all over Facebook, TikTok, X, Twitter, which is now X and now uncensored. But that's the reason why it got uncensored, is because of COVID. Elon bought it and said, hey, we're going to have a platform where you don't get censored. And that set the tone for Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube to ease up a little bit on the COVID situation. But the fact that we were even be able to get censored on our First Amendment is fucking insane to me. Kim Gav said, you want to talk about the lies? Let's talk about the lies. They said the vaccines were safe and effective for stopping transmission, but they didn't stop transmission. They said the 6-foot rule was science-based, but Fauci later admitted it wasn't. They said the vaccines have been in development for 2 years, but COVID hadn't even been discovered yet. And they said there were no long-term effects because there couldn't be, since the technology was new. Hold up, I got to read this on the other side. The comment cut off. Where was I at? And they said there was no long-term effects because there couldn't be since the technology was new. I can't read your whole comment for some reason. I guess it's too long.
Well,
But the last thing I see is that's not science, that's a sales pitch. And I agree with you.
I do see one good point there. If they were working on the vaccine for a pandemic that hadn't been around yet, that's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when I heard that, and that was the first question I had, because at the time Trump did announce the vaccine, but it's not like Trump was in there making it in the lab. Like, he was advised by probably Fauci, shit, and came out and made the announcement because that's what he's supposed to do as the president. But I was so curious at that time, like, what the hell is even going on? Because it just doesn't make any sense. How are you going to say you've been working on this for 2 years, but it's called COVID-19? 19 being the year that it got discovered, meaning the first time it's ever been a thing. But now you guys have a technology for it for the last 2 years. I didn't get that.
Maybe they wanted
One of the reasons why I really didn't trust it.
instead of the fact that they tested it for a day and a half.
Yeah, they tested on 3 rats and 2 monkeys, and then they say, "Yep, we're good."
That's why I didn't take that, man. For real, I said, "There's no way they could have an answer for this yet. There's just no way." So you couldn't have convinced me to take that shot with anything.
I'd rather a stab than a jab, genuinely.
Yeah, really.
I would rather that. Kim said, "Just infuriated me knowing he was soliciting his staff for awards money." Exact. That was that. I was gonna stop it there because I was like, "Damn, awards money." But I was like, let me hear what this motherfucker has to say to it, and I plead the fifth. Who would have thought? Who would have guessed? Who would have fucking guessed?
But it's questions like that that actually answer the big question of why he pled the fifth. Because if he had to answer those questions, there's going to be some serious answering to do.
No, it definitely would have been. That's a fact. Steve Thomas said Fauci is a piece of shit. I agree.
Point. I agree.
I have to agree to that. Kelly says his diary. What a sick mind. All he wanted to do was be famous for something great. Now look at him, a lowly snake. Yeah, I agree with you, Kelly. Hold up, we got another proud patriot in the building. What's up, Autumn Michelle? Hey guys, y'all go give her a follow too. Real quick, guys, if you guys are in the chat right now, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that share button so we can get this out, because it's not a lot of people talking about this. Especially the liberals. They're trying to cover it up. And go ahead and follow my boy Back to the Basics on Facebook. He's down here. He's going to help me put on a good show for you guys today. So hit that follow button for him before we continue to get into the rest of this. Trueheart says Gates and Fauci were funding the Wuhan and Vax at the same time. China released it to stop the riots and protests at the time. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit. Trueheart normally does a little bit of extra research in the background, so I don't doubt it if you say it, but I kind of want to see about that. Rodney Kemp said the government is pushing a vaccine so bad it's definitely a red flag. Sorry. Has anyone thought about this as a big try at population? Yeah, no, this is 100% population control. I don't know why it keeps moving my messages on here, but I keep having to read back and forth, and it's making me look like I can't read.
That population control theory, with that between COVID and other diseases and whatnot, you got to get really deep into that and look into that stuff, because that's if that's true, that's some crazy shit.
Well, it's some crazy shit then. It's some crazy shit then. I'll say that. It's not a secret. They're not slick. Why do you think that they were able to convince an entire race that 80% of their children should get aborted? On average, 82% of black children get aborted. You know how many more people there would be?
Population control for sure.
Man, that's insane to me. And they convince you so well to prevent from having the baby. Kim said Senator Scott was grilling him on Bill Gates being a part of this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that one up too. True Heart, exactly, Rodney. Tie it back to Gates, TED Talk on. Man, that's exactly what I was thinking this whole time is Gates' TED Talk. I didn't even pull up that comment. My bad. Autumn said they aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Exactly. All right, y'all. Let me get back into this, and then after I play a little bit more of this, we'll get back into some more comments. I just want to catch up real quick.
Folkers, who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Your chief of staff is the answer. Do you remember Patricia Conrad? Who was that?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
She was your personal assistant. And what were these individuals doing in the depth of the pandemic in November of 2020 when millions of Americans were suffering from COVID? What were they doing? I tell you what they're doing. Folkers was on your behalf soliciting and gathering information for a cash award. Let's look at it. We've got his email right here, right over my shoulder.
Oh, shit.
Folkers says, I'm working on this nomination for the Dan David Award for Fauci. We need to beef up the COVID part. Do you have language in the can that you could share that delineates how we responded in new ways to COVID? He sends this to multiple federal employees. What was the Dan David Award? Do you remember, Doc?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my
Oh,
rights
my
under
gosh.
the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It was a $900,000 cash award.
$900,000 cash award. Oh my gosh. You already know what he said. He pleads the Fifth. This is all that he has to say the whole and fucking entire time. Like, this is crazy to me that you could just give away $1 million as a reward for reiterating how you articulate the facts about COVID, which weren't facts. And you get $1 million reward for that? 900,000, my bad. $1 million?
Basically to go out and say Fauci was right.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That shit is fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
That's insane. And then the fact that they had the whole email and he still says, I plead the Fifth. Like, what the fuck?
$900,000 cash award.
And then it went off.
And he got it because he used federal employees to get it. And this wasn't the only award, was it, Dr. Fauci? In fact, you applied for and received at least 8 other federal cash prizes on federal time using federal employees and federal resources. Here they are over my shoulder. Besides the Dan David Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service. You've got the Adelson Prize. You've got the Smithsonian Award. You've got the National Academy of Medicine.
They got the flashcards. Look at this, y'all. All the awards Fauci pursued during COVID. Dan David Prize, Partnership for Public Service to America Award, AAS or AAAS, Philip Abelson Prize, Smithsonian Institution Great American. Smithsonian Institution Great Americans Medal. Great Americans Medal. That's what he thought he was going to get, the Great American. He probably got it. National Academy of Medicine Gustave, or I guess that's supposed to say Gustavo Award. CDC Foundation Fries Prize. Vanderbilt University Nicholas Chancellor Medal. Georgia Institute of Technology. Allen Jr. Prize for Social Courage. This dude has courage. I just don't get it. I don't get how. I hope he wasn't awarded all these. I hope he just pursued them. There's no way they could have looked at this and be like, with all the facts that we have now and how crazy this situation is, yeah, let's give him some rewards. That's fucking crazy. At no point during COVID did I think, oh, they're doing a good job with this. It was not one point in time.
These awards got names too. That's where these names come from.
Yeah, let me go back. Let me look.
The
names, yeah.
David Award. All right.
Look, Fauci used 8 federal employees to apply for awards. Greg Faulkners, Lawrence Saback, Holly Jaffe, Patricia Conrad, Courtney Billett, Lewis Miller, Catherine Miller. Uh-oh. Are they sisters?
You watching class. That is.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
So, like, basically, all right, here's a group of people Whoever kisses my ass the most, you get $900,000.
Yeah, that's essentially it. Hey, look, whoever kisses my ass the most gets up there, helps me with these press conferences, talking about a whole bunch of shit that we didn't do, and helps me poison the rest of the world. Yeah, you guys get an award. No worries. Hey, what the hell? And maybe he used them as a reference to apply for the awards because it says he used them for the federal, to apply for the awards. I'm not sure though, but we'll never know because the motherfucker won't speak.
No.
So, which is insane
So
to me to leave.
now, what do you? Not to jump way ahead, but what do you think happens from here?
What do you
just went
think?
in, didn't say nothing. Now, what are we gonna do?
To be quite honest with you, nothing. What should happen is we should hold the entire organization accountable and everybody affiliated. But what's actually going to happen is absolutely nothing. They're going to look at it as the one person who we can give accountability to this is pardoned and doesn't want to speak. And that's a large part of why he's pleading the fifth to everything is because all of his comrades that he's getting to commit fraud with him and fuck up the world and do genocide with, all of those people, he doesn't want to incriminate them. It's not that he doesn't want to. When somebody pleads the fifth and they have a pardon, it's not because they don't want to incriminate themselves. It's not because they don't want you to know what you already know. It's because they don't want the other people who are close to them, who he put in positions of power and made, lots of money for them, and they've made lots of money for him. He doesn't want any of them getting burnt. He likes those relationships he built. So even though he's getting defaced in the public and everybody can see in the public eye that he's a dirtbag, he has a tight knitted network that is rich off of him. So he doesn't want to incarcerate them. Those are his people. Those are the only people who he gives a shit about.
Like even these guys, well, women and men that got these awards, like you just said, that's a great point. He didn't want to have to say that they got this money and they got these awards because he didn't want to say that out loud. And that's
Exactly. That's exactly it. Rodney Kemp said, my brother died from the COVID vaccine almost exactly 4 years after he took it. Plus, he took a booster. He thought it was safe. The doctors made it sound so wonderful. Man, Rodney, I'm sorry to hear that about your brother, man. Prayers to you. I was telling people over and over, man, don't take this vaccine. That shit gonna kill you. And nobody wanted to believe me. And everybody used to say, oh, no. And what I would say to the fact that they came out with this vaccine in 2 weeks, I would tell people that. And what they would respond with is, oh, well, we have better technology now. It's not like the other viruses that came out in the past where it took years for them to come out with a vaccine. We don't got that good of fucking technology that we could do that shit.
No. It takes years of testing.
Yeah, and not to mention, it's a lab for a reason. They have to actually see how the results play out in the long term. You don't know what the side effects of a vaccine is unless you've seen it after 2-3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Yeah, you have no clue what it's going to do. You just know that it has a variant of COVID in it. Johnny Cox said, it's by design to make people think that the Democrats party is for black people, but they never change. They still want slaves to this day. Why do you think there's so much division today? Love your stuff. Keep bringing the truth. Hey, I appreciate that, Johnny. And me and Back to the Basic was just talking about this before we got on the air. My whole point is to bring us together, man, because that's what they want. They want us to believe that this party is for them. They want us to believe that Democratic Party is for them. I grew up believing that you had to vote Democrat if you were black because the Republicans hate you. That's what I was taught growing up. And just to realize that, it's actually the opposite. Oh, shit. What the hell?
You didn't see that hate. You were just told it.
You were just told. I didn't see the hate. I was just told it. Never seen it. Never heard it. Just was told about it. And that was it.
If anything, the Democrats are always pandering. And they're the ones that talk down to that community and make that community seem dumb, like with the whole SAVE Act and all that, stuff like that. They make it sound like the black community needs them and needs them to survive. Where we're just like, what's up?
Basically.
Yeah. You know, I can't read. I'm just like you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck does that mean?
You don't vote for me, you ain't black.
You know, and that day I found out I'm not black. Damn. This whole life, my whole life, I thought I was a black man. And come to find out,
I gotta get to re-know you now, shit.
yeah, my name is Jake. No, I already got a white name, Josh. I'll still fall for
white
it.
Name. Don't get whiter than Barry.
Mary. Yeah,
Barry White, which is ironic.
Yeah. Kim said, "Well, absolutely nothing because you need 60 votes to hold him in contempt, and you know damn well they're not going to get 60 votes. So that's how that works. So 60 of the people in there have to vote to hold him in contempt. Is that what you're saying, Kim? Let me know. I was actually pretty interested on that. I'm glad you dropped that in here." Dame says, are you trying to say don't worry? Don't worry. If Fauci talk, somebody will kill him. Or maybe you're saying,
Fauci's worried.
Okay, yeah. Oh, he's just worried that if Fauci talks, somebody will kill him. Just guessing, you know, probably somebody ordering him to do this and that. Yeah, he said for sure that he was told to do that by his counsel. Alyssa, what's up, Alyssa? Another proud conservative patriot over here.
Yeah, she is. How'd it go?
Glad to have you on the show. Yeah, Alyssa is I think she was probably one of the first people that I connected with in the chat over there in our group chat.
Yeah.
Pretty cool people. Rodney said, well, he took before we knew about it, so it was too late. Are you saying he took the awards before we knew about it? I feel like, you're saying your brother. I'm sorry. I forgot you mentioned your brother. Yeah, man. I hate to hear that, man. And I'm not trying to tell you that, like, you should have known better at all, by any means, man. The government was playing games on us. It was fucked up. Fauci was playing games on us, and it was fucked up. I definitely didn't mean anything by that. So I'm sorry that you had to go through this, man, with your brother. I lost my mother to cancer. And to this day, I still feel that they have a cure for cancer. And it makes me sick every time I see those fucking donation boxes at the coffee shop or at Walmart where it's like, do you want to donate to cancer research? And I'm like, oh, yeah, because when my mom was told that she had 4 months to live, that shit sure did help me when I was 16 years old. Like, I would have loved to have my mom with that cancer research. But no, here I am, 25, no mother.
Cancer research, you mentioned population control. One of the theories behind that is they don't want to cure cancer because too many people be living.
That's exactly it. Why do you think they don't want to cure? Why do you think Magic Johnson got AIDS in his 20s and is still alive today, happy, healthy, and successful?
You get that right.
Built a whole entire family. None of his kids have AIDS, but he has AIDS, and he's had more children since. How?
So either he's a miracle cure, or it was a lie, honestly.
I'll say option A. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
I agree. Yeah. He's got the best doctor. He's got that doctor that they ain't telling nobody about that doctor. But Magic Johnson got him.
No, Fauci came and pulled up on him personally. He said, "Hey, look, put in your vote for that award that I'm about to get for COVID, and we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Just give me that vote for the award."
Magic Johnson award.
Rodney said, "And thanks, I appreciate it. I feel for everyone who went through this. Man, we feel for you too, brother. Hate to hear that. Hate to hear it." Kim said, "Yes, sir, 60 votes. So that's how it works. So 60 votes in there, we'll get them out. And so now it got me looking at everybody in this fucking room on why they didn't put in the 60 votes. That's insane that they didn't hold them in contempt for this.
100% partisan, that's why.
Yeah. Anna Montana, what's up, Anna? You're one of my favorite followers, Anna. You always show up. You always there dropping some facts. I appreciate you, Anna. Thanks for coming back. It says he's a piece of shit, or POS. The families need to sue him and take all his money. Yeah, I know, right?
Some of them facts.
They really
Some
do.
of them facts you were talking about.
I told you. She ain't never gonna lie to you now. She ain't never gonna lie to you. Alyssa said, you know it. I love y'all. Keep up the amazing work. You know, we love y'all too. Or you too. Speaking to the whole audience, but you know we rock with you, Alyssa. Appreciate you tuning in as always. Anna Montana said there's a cure to cancer, but the meds kill them. Exact man.
Yeah, they make that money.
Chemotherapy completely tears you down. There's reports that have come out that to cure cancer, all you really need to do is stop eating a lot of sugars and carbs. So if there's that, and people have seen the results and I've heard of stories where people was able to evaporate their cancer tumors from changing their diets. So if that's possible, there's definitely a cure to cancer. There's no way that they can tell me there's not. I'm not believing it. I'm just not.
But she got a great point, because the pharmaceutical companies, they don't want to cure cancer because I don't even know the number of billions of dollars that they're making off all that medication.
Most people can't afford chemotherapy unless they have really good health insurance. And a lot of people get dropped off of their health insurance when they find out they have cancer. Well, crazy enough. If my father wasn't a veteran, my mother would have got dropped from her insurance. But we had, TRICARE. So initially there was some issue at the hospital, and then come to find out, oh no, you have TRICARE. We can't stop you. So, I guess that's one of the perks of being a veteran.
I'm sorry about your loss, bro.
Man, it used to tear me down before, but as I come to find out that life happens for a reason. There's reasons why it happened. You just don't understand the things God does, but he's doing it for a reason nonetheless. Some lessons and things you got to learn.
My grandfather was taken by leukemia, cancer, basically.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. Man, the terrible thing for me is my grandfather died from cancer before I was ever even born, which is my mother's father. And then my mother passed away from cancer before my daughter was ever born. So I'm like, man, I need to start actually eating better and doing different things, because I don't eat good. I'm not even gonna lie to you and say I do.
I want to see that grandchild.
Man, I would hate, like, the things that I feel whenever I'm like, man, I see when she goes to her other grandparents' house, I'm like, man, I wish she could meet my mom. Like, and my mom was so ready to have grandkids. She would talk about it all the time. Oh, I can't wait till I got me a grandbaby, and then never got to meet any of them. So unfortunate. I feel like I don't know. It's just very unfortunate to not be able to even get to meet your grandparent. It's insane. Which I didn't get to meet one of mine, and I used to always wonder, how were they? But I could never really have a love or a passion for that person because I never knew who they were.
On a side note, a happier note, get a little happy here. My oldest daughter was actually born on her great grandmother's birthday. On her birthday, and she was alive. Her great grandmother.
Okay. Oh, great! I didn't even hear you say great. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, she went on her birthday. It was like the greatest thing for her great grandmother. She said it was the greatest thing that happened in her life, having her great grandchild born on her birthday.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
They get the same name. So, anyways.
Oh shit. Yeah. See, my mother and grandmother were born on the same day, but she didn't feel the same way because that was her daughter. She was like, "Damn, I don't want to have to share birthdays with you."
That's a different story.
Yeah, it's different whenever it's a grandkid. You can express your love a little bit more. Your time is running. You want to be able to really give them everything you got. So.
And you get to see what your child made. I mean, we don't know yet because we ain't grandparents, but I would imagine, you get to see what you made, what that made.
Yeah. It's like a full circle. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. Like, man, you
want to be a grandfather anytime soon, though. Let's be quiet
then. Right. Let me see. All right. So we got Karen McGrath says, I had to completely look it up for you. It's 60 votes in the Senate, so that when you know you're fucked. Oh, so that's when you know you're fucked. Yeah. I've never seen them do that though. That's what's so crazy. True Heart said, I have 5 great grandchildren. Wow. That's amazing.
Eight.
That is amazing.
Damn.
That is crazy. I had a customer out in Austin that I did his roof and some other construction around his home. And he's 94 years old. And he knows his I want to say 3 greats grandchildren.
Damn.
I was like, oh, shit.
I
And his
love
whole
that.
family tree has lived for like 95 years or more.
I'm a big softie on stories like that, man. I love that shit.
Yeah, man. It's because we love family, man. And that's one thing that I can say about the conservative side of things is like there's hardly any Republican conservatives that they don't get a little bit of heartstrings pulled at them whenever you start talking about family. Like we really do care about those type of things. Like it's really a priority to us, and I think that's what makes us who we are a lot of times. And I think that's one of the biggest things that does separate us from the liberals is we care about family and God, and they care about exactly, and they care about how I feel, how I look, and what other people think about me. Other than that, they don't really care about anything else. Because they care about how they feel. Are you making them feel bad about what they're doing? They care about how they look because they don't think about anything behind looks. And then they care about, exactly. And they gotta be right. Exactly. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be wrong sometimes because you know what happens when I'm wrong? I learn
yeah.
something.
Yeah. And the thing about it is their values draw them away from the family value or the family lifestyle. A lot of them are single. A lot of them are single baby mothers. A lot of them are single, just single in general. A lot of them have never been in a serious relationship where anybody has took them serious. A lot of them have never liked their family members. They're the black sheep of the family, like they would say. But really, it's because they just don't get along with anybody because they don't like to be respectful to others and respect other people's opinions. And I think that's the biggest divide between us is because we care more about family, faith, and country. We don't want the Transformers to come out of the closet. We don't want all that bullshit in our music. We don't want to have our kids encouraged to do things that they shouldn't be doing, whether it's mutilating themselves or listening to violence. We just don't want those things. We want happy, peaceful. When you turn on one of them old movies from the 70s and they're walking around skipping through the streets, that's what we want, man.
And love who you are. Like you talk about the Transformers and so on and so forth. Because they're being told there's something different than they are, and not just taught to love what they actually are.
Well, they have mental health disorders. When I worked in the prison, there was an entire pod assigned only for mental health, and I'd say about 70% of that mental health pod were transgenders. So, and I didn't see transgenders anywhere else around the entire unit, only on that pod. So that just goes to show you they're 100% mentally ill. All right, let's hear what they had to say after these names.
Award, you've got the Partnership for Public Service. You've got the Adelson Prize. You've got the Smithsonian Award. You've got the National Academy of Medicine's Award. You've got the CDC Foundation. In fact, you turn your staff into a full-time application machine. You actually wrote to people and said, do you think maybe I'd qualify? And you got cash for all of this. And it wasn't just 1 or 2 employees, was it? In fact, you used 8 separate federal employees on federal time using federal resources to solicit cash awards. Isn't that true?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Here they are right over my shoulder. Here's all of them. The people that you use, federal employees, so that you could go and get cash money. And the most hilarious part is that you weren't content to even dragoon them into applying for all of these cash awards. You then had them go out to the ethics agencies and ethics watchdogs and demand that you be able to get the money. That's right. We've got it in your emails. Your staff and employees on federal time, using federal resources, being paid with federal dollars, are soliciting cash for you. And then they're turning around and saying to the agency, we don't want just an answer. We want to get to yes, because Fauci wants the money. He wants it. We want to get to yes, and yes takes time. This is your chief of staff again, using federal email.
Is this chief of staff, y'all? Tony's assistant routinely tells the sponsors as soon as not. Oh, I don't know why I tried to read that as word. NIAID is notified that Tony is an award recipient, that the cash prizes are heightened review, and we don't just want to say no. We want to try to get a yes. Yes takes time. So in other words,
shit, that's what that means.
Yeah, which in other words, hey, look, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, but we're going to keep fucking with you until you say yes, because we need that money. We didn't create this scam for no reason. We didn't fuck up the world for no reason. We need to get paid, and we need to get paid right now. That's insane.
You know, despite him pleading the fifth, I feel like, and I said this earlier, the Republicans did map it all out pretty well and gave us all that info, and we can just assume that it was true, and that's why this dude did not want to answer these questions.
Yeah, exactly. That is one thing I will say, because when it came to who was it? Was Epstein up here at some point? I want to say somebody was up here not that long ago. Somebody had just had a hearing not that long ago. I can't remember, and they did all this plead the fifth shit. No, it was it Pelosi? No. It was, I can't fucking remember. It was a couple of different people. Yeah, and they basically, I think it was Pelosi, and then that was when she stepped down after that. And she pled the fifth about everything, but they didn't paint the picture as well as they did it here. So that is something that I will applaud them to. I think you're right on that. You got a good point there, because they really painted the picture there.
We haven't touched on what the Democrats did, and I'm sure you're not going to play their videos because they ain't worth listening to. But they just, every time one of them spoke, it was literally to just take almost like they want to take our attention off the hearing during the hearing.
Yeah, and talk about Trump. Yeah.
And talk about how we're not supposed to be there. Talk about the fucking lettuce. You know, they weren't even thinking about the reason we were here, I guess is my point.
Yeah, they weren't at all. I'm gonna stop playing that video. I actually want to show one of the next videos. I just realized we're already at an hour. So I'm gonna play one of the next ones, and I think I am gonna play one of those videos where they were complaining about Trump. I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm probably gonna get it in here, because that is actually insane to me that they brought up Trump like 12 times in this hearing, and Trump had nothing to do with it. Yeah, measles.
Stuff. Those are problems, but that's not why they were there. They weren't there to talk about that shit.
Exactly. Let me see. What was the other one? Oh, that was the. Yeah, no, I don't understand how they can go and beat around the bush and talk about everything else, and nobody like brought them back to, hey, like, we're talking about COVID. We're talking about what you guys did. This is a hearing about you. This is not a hearing about what the entire world did during COVID. Wow, it says Fauci takes the fifth 111 times. That's how many times he said I plead the fifth.
I was wondering. I was literally wondering that earlier. How many times? I figured it was at least 100.
Yeah, let's see what they say, because that's funny. This is Fox News right here. I'm not gonna play this whole clip either, because I don't really care to hear what Fox actually has to say as much as I want to hear what was actually going on in the courtroom. But just to give you guys a grasp of how long this was going on and how many questions he pled the fifth to, regardless of what actually happened and the facts that was in his face right behind him, or right behind the person talking to him. Alyssa says, wow, that's creepy, yo. Yeah. Fauci is creepy, honestly.
The whole thing's creepy.
Yeah. Kim says the Democrats' biggest talking point this whole hearing was actually comparing COVID to the diarrhea lettuce. Yeah. That's what back to the basics here was just saying, man. It's insane. It was infuriating. You know, Kim, I was talking in the chat. I was like, man, I could not watch this. This is pissing me off. Like, I just hate knowing the truth and getting lied to anyway. Like, that nothing pisses me off more than when I know the truth and I'm asking you a question and you're either not going to answer or just lie to me. Like,
That's
what
like
the fuck?
that. Don't piss on my shoes. Don't piss on my shoes and tell me it's raining, right?
Yeah, you know, like, come on, man. We know you're full of shit. You know you're full.
Ernst, Republican of the great state of Iowa, serving on the Homeland Security Committee. That did not stop you, Senator, from leaning in and making sure the public knew the truth. Talk to me about your round with Dr. Fauci.
Captions on.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Harris. This is important to the American people. And I've heard from Iowans over and over again. They want to know about the origins of COVID-19 and why Dr. Fauci lied to the American people. They want to know why they were sequestered away, why they were not able to say goodbye to loved ones that were isolated in nursing homes and hospitals. Why our children lost out on years of education because our schools were shut down.
Wait, hold up. Kim said, I took one for the team. Kim, you ain't get the jab, did you? Yeah. You didn't get the jab.
No,
Tell me you didn't get the jab. Nah, I'm just messing with her. I know she didn't say that. Oh, you couldn't see the comment?
I can't see it.
She said, I took one for the team. Yeah. So you didn't take one for the team, not the jab? No, I'm just messing with her.
So we focus very much. Of course, I chair the DOJ caucus in the Senate. I watch government spending. But my line of questioning was.
Oh, I think we lost him. Let me send him a message real quick and let him know that he fell off. And then we'll get back into this. Oh, there he is. All right, we got you now. I was just about to send you a message and let you know you fell off. I can't hear you. Back to the basics. I know what it is. It's because we started talking about the jab. They brought back censoring us, man. You was talking about it too much. They pulled you off. I can hear now. Say something.
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Cool. There you go.
Not bad.
Yeah, man.
Kid over here hitting buttons.
Man, it's not you, man. They heard us talk about COVID, so they had to censor us in some way. They yanked you off the chat. True Art said, wait, I think I'll skip some. Oh yeah, no. She said, I had put this all together by March 2020 and said so on my page that was recently deleted by Facebook. I know it. I remember I was, before I even made content, probably around March 2020, honestly, I was posting about it and my posts were getting took down. So that's just crazy how much they censor us. Alyssa said, I agree. All I care about is the truth, no matter how harsh it is. Just tell me the truth. That's all I want to know. Just tell me the truth. Oh, don't sit here and lie to me. Don't ignore me. Tell me the truth.
Oh, that's what she meant by taking one for the team. That's what she meant.
Oh, yeah. She said, no, I watched and took notes for you. My bad, Kim. Like, we love you for it.
And then Josh was like, oh, hey, I appreciate that, but I ain't using that shit. I'm sorry, Kim. I love you.
No, Kim, really, genuinely. I really appreciated you doing that, though, because you normally, you always come through, when it comes down to stuff like this. You just always come through. So, I know I can always count on you to keep me covered. But, I did kind of throw your nose to the side just because they had so many clips. My bad, Kim. My bad.
I mean, really, supporters like him, like, what are we without them,
What are we? What are we without them, man? Genuinely. And that's why, once again, I'm going to let y'all know. If y'all don't got a good hot sauce brand, y'all go reach out to Kim. She got all different flavors. She got Mega Habanero. I keep talking about Mega Habanero because that's the one that stuck out to me the most. But she got like 6 different flavors. I can't remember them all because I don't eat hot sauce. But I'm ordering my girl some hot sauce here this week. And we're gonna try it out. And I'm gonna have Fuck it, I'm gonna try it out on the live stream after we get it. If I cry, I cry. Fuck it.
Shit, man. If you need someone to take some notes for you, Kim's your girl.
There you go. If you need to make sure you got the facts, Kim's your girl. She said, "No jab here. You got it, Fred." Oh shit, she throwing you under the bus, Fred. She said, "You got the
it's
jab."
you. She's throwing you to the bus. You kicked her to the curb, not me.
You say, "Kick me to the curb." Love you, Josh. You know we love you, Kim. You know, your notes was still helpful. And you know what helped me the most though was when I got pissed off and you were still talking about it in the chat, so I still knew what the hell was going on. I was getting even more pissed off, but you know, it was good to know so I could be prepared of what I wanted to bring up.
You know what's funny too, man? He said you were getting pissed because you had to hear him say, you know, the fifth thing about 111 times. Some of those Republicans, when they were questioned, they purposely didn't even ask questions. So he could have very well ended up saying that 200 times if they were actually asking him questions, but they didn't bother because they knew.
Imagine how long this hearing would have took if he actually answered any questions.
Imagine how much more satisfied we'd be, though.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this was, for it to be what it was very disappointing. Not only was it disappointing, but this should have lasted way longer with all the information he has about all the fucked up shit he did. Real quick, go ahead.
I rarely drive down the road listening to congressional hearings, and I was literally excited about this one because I wanted to find out some shit. And so I'm right with you, bro, on being frustrated. Like, because other than the Republicans telling us stuff, I didn't hear shit from him, and I wanted him to take accountability. That was what it was all about.
Right, and the thing about it is, with that being said, other than the Republicans telling us, that means only half of the public was listening. Only half of the public took that into actual knowledge and you know, was like, you know what, that's actually true. The other half is going to say, oh, they're all full of shit. They were Republicans. They're lying. They're pedos and they're racist. And they only said that because he gave the vaccine to black people first. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm glad I said that. Does nobody else remember that when COVID first came out, they were straight up saying we want to issue this out to minorities first because it goes with their DNA type better? Yeah. And when I heard that, I straight up told, because my dad got the vaccine. I told him, I said, you better not get that damn vaccine. He got it, but, you know, either way.
He's fine now.
He's fine. I mean, he's still healthy. But, you know, he was one of the lucky ones. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, I told you, man, I grew up in a Democrat household, man. It's not my fault. I tried to save it, but, you know. Kim said, I think they purposely asked him questions to show everyone he won't answer. Yeah, I honestly think he wouldn't have answered even if they didn't ask him the harsh questions. I think any question they asked him, he wouldn't have fucking answered. But I think that it was a good point that they did that on purpose to ask all those get you in a pinch type questions because it showed the world he's not going to fucking answer when you ask him this. Because everybody wants to know these questions.
That's why I remember he said, you know, what color's the rug? So he asked him a couple things like that.
Yep.
To prove that he was literally going to say that for every single question.
Exactly. He was asking, what color is the folder in front of you? What color is the rug? What color is the tie right now? Like, you couldn't answer any of that?
He would turn around and look at the people that were standing up. He wouldn't even do that. They just told him, don't you do nothing. That's what his lawyers told him. Don't do. And his lawyer is the biggest scumbag ever. I looked into him a little bit. I don't got to get that right away, but he's the
he called it out too. He straight up called it. He said your lawyer is a scumbag. He said that on air. So I agree. Trueheart said IMHO. He wanted to sit there and brag about everything he got away with, but his lawyers wouldn't let him. His lawyers wouldn't. Oh, yeah, they wouldn't let him brag. No, that's a fact. You're on point with that one, Trueheart. Listen, my parents too. You're not alone. Shake my head. I agree. It's okay. It's okay. We overcame. We overcame the liberal nonsense. Kim said, spot on, Trueheart. Trueheart normally is spot on. We had a disagreement the last live stream, but it's some, you know, a personal preference, I guess. And we were both accurate. We just disagreed. Trueheart is always on point. Rodney said, my brother passed away last December, almost 4 years ago to the day he took the vaccine. Yeah, once again, I am so sorry to hear about that, man. Really sorry to hear about that. Man, and it's so crazy to think that it's been 4 years since COVID. Like, it doesn't seem like it. It's crazy or really, it's been 6 years since COVID kicked off, because it really kicked off at the beginning of 2020. That's crazy. Man, we were just on lockdown 4 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, I was hanging out. I was actually in between jobs hanging out a friend who ran a RC RC store, you know. And we didn't follow none of the rules, man. We were always worried someone was going to come in. Because they had people going around to businesses. It was like the Gestapo and shit. Going around to businesses and making sure they followed the rules. And we never did.
I didn't even know that, man. I was working at the prison, so shit.
Yeah, no,
none of the inmates was going to follow the rules.
Yeah, they had agents, what do you want to call them, agents or whatever, going around to places, and they would make them, if they went in and saw them, you know, going into restaurants, making sure the tables were set up the right ways, and if they weren't, they shut it down. It was crazy.
They wasn't playing with that. It wasn't playing with COVID at all. I remember you had to, at the prison, we had to clean normally they run chow all day. Like every day, all day, there's chow hall running because they have to feed so many people. So as soon as breakfast stops, they start lunch. There's probably about 30 tables in the chow hall. I've never, ever, ever seen them clean the tables after each person left. Like only 2 people could sit to each table. And as soon as they got up and ate, somebody came and scrubbed the table down and cleaned it. And then like we were cleaning everything in the prison at that point. Like shit that never got cleaned. Yeah, like shit that never, ever got cleaned since I've been there. All of a sudden was the cleanest shit in the world. And the craziest thing is all those chemicals cause harm. They really do. You're not supposed to breathe all that shit in all day. You're not supposed to have hand sanitizer on your skin 12 times a day. You're not supposed to have disinfectant spray sprayed all around you 3 times. You're not supposed to do that. It's not good for your body. Yeah.
You're not supposed to feel it all day. I remember, I can distinctly remember the day, like, hey, guess what? They said that we could sit at the bar. Like, that's how, just thinking about that shit now, man. It's like crazy that we were living the life like that.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy to me too is how different it was down here in Texas versus how it was in those northern states. Those motherfuckers was really locked up. Like that's
where I was. I was in Massachusetts, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And for us, we were able to go to the bars. I want to say we wasn't able to go to clubs, but we was able to go to bars, and then there was a occupancy limit. So or a capacity limit to where you can only have like X amount of people. And if you had that amount, like there was a line outside every bar because you had to wait and they could only let a certain amount of people in at a time. And then they would even space it out to where like, okay, you let one person in, wait 30 seconds, let the next person in, all this stupid shit. Think
about the lack of common sense with that. What's it matter how many people are in there if somebody has why would it matter? I don't know, man. It wouldn't.
And then the fact that they were able to, I don't know what companies made them, but the companies that came out with all those masks, those little cheap ass masks, and then they started coming out with the cloth mask with your own little Black Lives Matter or your own favorite team on it or whatever on it. It was like, bro, they are making a shitload of money.
It became a marketing thing.
Yeah. It was all like one big scam. They got rid of all the toilet paper, all the paper towels, all the soap, all the food, and then everybody, the only thing that you could buy now is masks. We got masks every fucking where. Everywhere you go, there's 10 masks to buy, 10 different types, 10 different stages and levels. They had COVID-19 masks.
Proven not to work.
Yeah, the N95 mask that they had us all wearing that was actually destroying our respiratory system, proven not to work. All that shit proven not to work. It just didn't make a difference. It was a fucking flu. All it was the fucking flu, a different variant that they designed on their own. Like,
and it was this guy. It was this fucking guy right there.
Yeah.
that was making us all believe it.
Yeah, and he was probably the one who designed it. Wouldn't doubt it at all if he helped design the disease. Genuinely wouldn't doubt it. There was a article that came out about 2 or 3 years ago where they found the warehouse that actually created the vaccine, where it supposedly leaked from, and it was in America somewhere. I can't remember what state. I want to say it was Wyoming or some shit. I don't remember. I have no clue, so don't quote me on Wyoming. But they came out with that a couple years ago. You know how many people talked about it? Nobody. It was unheard of. Nobody even heard about it. It was insane. Couldn't even believe that it got no coverage. I was telling people about it. People wouldn't believe in me because it had no coverage.
Yeah, well, you probably don't remember because you were only told one time because nobody was talking about it.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I don't remember what state.
Largely focused on the taxpayer money that was funneled to the Wuhan Institute in China, as well as a veterinary institute also housed in China, and that Fauci knew very well they were experimenting at different times with gain of function research. Even though we saw during President Obama's administration, President Obama put an end to gain of function research because it was considered so dangerous to our population. Dr. Fauci knew full well what he was doing when he was sending our taxpayer dollars to China, to the Netherlands, to a research facility in Wisconsin, knowing that it would endanger our population. But then I also focused on aborted human baby parts that were also used in research funded through his efforts, whether it's at NIH, at NIAID.
So y'all think this doesn't go hand in hand for a reason? I mean,
I can hear it now too, by the way. But
oh, my camera cut off.
Oh man.
You can keep talking. Go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, the lady's gonna leave now.
Man, I wish I had it like that. Don't say that too loud. My girl gonna come in here.
Oh, my bad.
Nah, I'm playing. I got my headphones.
They ain't hanging around to look at this old man.
Oh.
Yeah, I could hear that video. That was good.
Oh, you can actually hear it? That's all.
I did. That baby stuff had me driving grossed the F out. I was disgusted.
That's insane.
That BLT, they called it a BLT. Oh man. That shit blew my mind.
That is absolutely insane to me. I don't see how people can get away with that shit. And we're still sitting here talking about the fucking Epstein files. Why don't we talk about that shit?
Ugh.
We ignore everything that matters for all the stupid shit, and it makes no sense to me. And we're still talking about a person who's apparently, according to them, dead. I don't believe he's dead. I'm not even going to get into that, though, because I've worked in a prison, and I know how it works whenever you're on suicide watch. You can't leave the area. You can't just walk away from the suicide watch. There's an officer who sits there the entire time. His whole duty that whole day is to sit there and watch that person on suicide watch. Yeah, I'm on webcam now. I was using my phone to record, and my phone died. So yeah, but that's what's so crazy to me is they literally was using. Damn, I forgot what I just said. Shit, I don't know, but it's insane to me that they would even mention the baby's arms and legs from people who were aborted. They were using that for the vaccine in some type of way. That just goes to show you guys, they're not encouraging people to have abortions for no reason. They're gaining from this. They're gaining from this. They want to use people. Why? Like, for the same reason why I don't understand why people do abortions is the same reason why I don't understand why people are organ donors. You don't know what they're going to do with your body. And on top of that, that shit isn't supposed to come out. If God wanted your organs to be out of your body when you made it to heaven, he would have took them out your body when you died. Like you would, you know how frogs, they die, they're there for a couple of days and all of a sudden they're flat. All the organs just disintegrate.
Yep.
That's how it would be if God wanted us to not have our organs when we die. He doesn't want them to take your organs. They belong to your body. It's insane.
It's one thing when it's a one-on-one donation of something. Like you need something, I give it to you.
Exactly.
But when I just die and you just take all my shit, I don't know where it's going, like you said.
You know what I personally believe? So, little fun fact story, not even fun, but a factual story about my history. Yeah, it's not funny at all. My cousin, when I was 18, my cousin was 19. He's a year older than me. So this happened around 2020, around COVID. My cousin was murdered, and he was a very large dude. He was about 6 foot tall, about 340 pounds. Very big dude. One of my closest family members ever. He was like a brother to me, man. And he got shot one time in the torso, not in the chest, in the torso, one singular time, and died. But he was an organ donor. I still to this day believe that he wouldn't have died if he wasn't an organ donor. I believe that they kill you if you're in a certain condition when they think that it's believable for you to die so that they can take your organs. I genuinely believe that. And that's one of the reasons why I won't do any of that shit. You'll never, I don't even like to donate blood. I don't like to donate plasma. I don't like to do any of that. Like, I don't want you to touch anything in my fucking body at all. Don't want you to have it.
I respect
Let's
that.
see what Kim said. Kim said the funny thing about, my bad. I didn't realize you were saying something.
No. I said I saw that comment that you're about.
Oh yeah. Kim said the funny thing about the toilet paper thing is we are in the middle of of diarrhea lettuce, and now the toilet paper is sold out.
Yeah, why aren't they buying it all at the stores? Why isn't it gone?
Wait, what? What do you mean? They still got toilet paper at the stores, Kim? You know what? We need to shut the world down so everybody can start, buying toilet paper and shit.
I don't know why it triggered I don't know why I triggered this response I'm about to do, but that's like that Henta virus or whatever it was on the boat there. It seemed as though, and now I'm in on this theory. It seemed like they were doing the same thing with COVID. They were trying to tell us that this boat had this, and now it's coming to the world, and they wanted to scare us. But we legitimately, as a society, thank goodness, we're like,
said, fuck no.
Fuck off.
Not again. Mm-hmm. And the fact that everybody was getting on social media saying, look, we're not going to comply this time. It's not going to happen this time. We're not doing it. I think that's the only reason why they didn't actually bring it to America. And it just magically disappeared.
Yeah, all the
and the disease comes from rat shit. Who was around eating rat shit?
Right. We got it in the house. We don't even know it.
For real. Trueheart said went through it, no mask, no jab, no fear. Could claim exemption to go to Wally World. Could claim exemption to go into Wally World. Yeah, I know it. They didn't do any of that. You got to have a vaccine to go into a store down here in Texas. Because if they did, you probably would have had a whole bunch of crazy shit going on. Texas, we're a different state, man. We don't play about our freedoms. We really don't play about that shit.
That's why I'm down here now. The people are more like me down here. I mean, I lived in Massachusetts for 50 years. I love my people. I love my sports teams too. We ain't gonna go there. But it's liberal crazy up there, bro. It's liberal crazy.
Man, it really is. It's saddening. But what's crazy enough is most of my audience, like the largest percent of my audience, is in New York. It's like 25% of my audience is in New York on both of my pages. It's insane. That means I have at least 20,000 followers in New York. It's insane to me. Like, I don't see how there's that many liberals there, but there's still so many of them that want to follow me. And obviously, most of them aren't liberals if they're following me.
Yeah.
But maybe it's starting to change.
I think Kim is the only thing I like about New York right now.
Oh man, Jalen Brunson is cool.
She's I told you about the sports, bro. You ain't getting me to like a New York sports player. Derek Jeter is the only sports player from New York that I ever have respect for. That's it.
Man.
Look, Derek Jeter was he was something. But anyways.
Trueheart said went through it. Oh, I already read that one. My bad, Trueheart.
Yeah, Kim is your New York implant down there in Texas. You know that, right?
Yeah, I got to keep at least one or two. So we can help turn all the other New Yorkers. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Don't even get me started on that, man.
That's another hour.
That last live stream where I was talking, where we got into that briefly, I said that, and then the next day, somebody who I grew up with is gonna hop in my comments and say something. It was because I posted a quote from a Muslim who said something about, oh, when Muslims die, we get 72 virgin wives in heaven, whatever. And that's not really what the Quran says, but that's what that Muslim said. I posted it. He commented, saying, oh, that's not what they say. Show the actual text. I said, I showed the text. It's right there. This is a quote, not a scripture.
Right.
And then immediately right after, he jumps on a separate post that's completely separate from talking about anything Muslim and comments, genocide lover. I said, man, you better stop commenting at me because I know you and I know that you beat your wife more than a little bit. You got 5 different charges for beating your woman. I know that shit is normal in Islam, but that shit ain't normal in America where we Christians. You can't beat your woman. Sit your motherfucking ass down. And you sitting here in my comments talking shit to me. He got a charge from 2 years ago of possession and assault. Like, this is what the Muslims do. Muslim is the only fucking religion. You know what? Let me take this down. Because now I'm getting into my rant now. Fuck all that other shit. Muslims is the only fucking religion where you go to prison and you can join them like it's a fucking gang. Muslims is the only fucking religion where you can join and still commit sins like nothing fucking happened and not have to repent or actually, change your life. Muslims is the only fucking religion where they sit here and try to tell you you're a bad person for being that religion. And then when you turn around and say, hey, wait, but your Messiah is married a 6-year-old?
10-year-old, 8-year-old.
Maybe I read this wrong. Right? He met her when she was 6 and then married her when she was 9? I gotta be reading this wrong. No? Oh, so you're all just dumb fucks. My bad. I didn't mean to get into Muslims so hard because I know there's some good Muslims out there. But I just have to say, most American Muslims are not Muslims. They're ex-convicts. I'm just going to tell you the truth. They're ex-convicts, and they're not Muslims because they wanted to change their life. And we could keep hiding under that all day if you want to. Oh, they want to change their life in prison. That's why a lot of people go Christian. No. They don't want to join blood, gang, GD, or BD. So they say, oh, Allah. And then, you know how you can tell a real Muslim in prison? You walk through, if you don't see that rug on the floor and a fucking red dot on their forehead, because that's the real Muslims. The red dot isn't always a painted mark. The red dot is actually from them laying their forehead on the ground, and a mark appears because they keep laying on it. If they don't have a real red fucking mark, exactly. If they don't have a red mark on their forehead, tell them shut the fuck up. Hand them a piece of fucking bacon. Most of them eat it in their free time. You think they don't eat pepperoni pizza? You think Muslims don't eat pepperoni pizza? Tell me. Tell me Muslims don't eat pepperoni pizza. Tell me how many times a Muslim went to a birthday party and said, no, I'm not going to eat.
Right.
It don't fucking happen. Now I got to clip this shit up and send that shit to all the Muslims I know. But my bad, y'all. I know we got extremely off topic, but there's some people pissing me the fuck off this week. Kim said they're probably from upstate New York. Whoa, we're not gonna talk about Long Island. My mother's from Long Island.
I think she means your conservative followers.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're saying right?
The city's all liberal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but Long Island is different.
I got inside info there. She said that to me before.
Yeah. See, my mother was from Long Island. She was a liberal, unfortunately, but she was from Long Island. That's the only place that I actually care about in New York because I have some relatives there. Not that I know them very well because they're New Yorkers, right?
I moved Wally Serbiak to Long Island.
Who is that?
He's a basketball player. I don't know. You probably don't know him. You're too young.
No, I don't. Yeah, I was trying to figure out who that was just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mom is like 6'4", but anyways.
Oh shit! I mean, it's got to be right. Motherfucker's probably 6'8".
He is.
I don't like standing next to tall people. That should make me uncomfortable. I'm not that short. I'm not that short.
I'm 6 even.
I'm 5'9", man. So I'm average height. Average height.
Yeah, you're average height for a short person.
I almost said something, but I say, you know what? I like this guy. I'm not gonna ruin it now. No, I'm kidding. Alyssa said my favorite pizza, pepperoni. Yeah. Hey, look, give it to a Muslim near you. And oh, you know what else? Ask for a little bit of bacon on that pizza. Some pork. Matter of fact, what type of pizza do they eat? Tell me what type of pizza they eat. Do they eat bacon pizza? Fuck no. Do they eat pepperoni pizza? According to them, no. Do they eat sausage pizza? Because Italian sausage, guess what that is? There you go. What the fuck do they eat on their pizza? You trying to tell me no Muslims eat pizza? I don't fucking believe it. I don't fucking believe it. Next time I see a mosque event, like I don't know, do they worship on Sundays? I'm gonna go in there with like 10 boxes of pizza and be like, "Hey everybody, I got food for the communion. See how many of them motherfuckers eat it. I'm gonna record it, put it on live stream. We gonna see today." I think there's a mosque in Austin.
We got miles away from Fauci.
Yeah, sorry, man. I got too deep into this shit.
I said we.
I had somebody piss me off. But you know, I dragged us into this, man. I had to get my rants out. I thought about making a video about it, but I was like, you know what? Nah, I need to do a full. One of these days, I'm gonna do a full fucking video on it. Don't know what day. I just gotta get pissed off again. Let another Muslim hit me up and be mad because I don't know. I eat bacon or some shit.
Well, I told you you were talking about how they go right to Trump and stuff. I'll get back on Fauci a little bit here. So yeah. I did a video. I didn't get time because we got going on this. I didn't get time to put it on Facebook yet. It's going up after here, but I put it on TikTok, and I was looking before we started here, bro, and there had to be 4 or 5 comments. All I did was talk about Fauci being, you know, how he didn't give us our info and he should be embarrassed, this and that. And you had people go, "What about Trump?" And I'm just reading it. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with Trump? Not a single thing.
I tell you. Dude, I did a video about how Oprah Winfrey had been on Epstein's Island 11 times, and I was talking about how, like, whatever happened to those missing children that we were talking about around 2010. And you know, every fucking comment was about Trump. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Well, is she the president? She's not the president.
I talked about him pleading the fifth, and one of the comments said, "What about when Trump pled the fifth?" And I can't even remember what. I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't. When did he plead?
Never in a court. Never in a courtroom.
It just blows my mind that we're talking about Fauci, what he did to this country, the effects that we're still fucking having from it, and you just got to bring up Trump.
That's it. That's all. Your only rebuttal is Trump. Nothing else to say.
Trump's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Trump's a pedophile.
Like, how many times can y'all comment that shit a day? It's the same people every day. I swear I got like 5 commenters every day who's going to come in my comments and say, "You support a pedophile."
Do you get that one? You're a pedophile lover?
Yeah, I get, bro, man. Every day, all day, twice on Sundays. So, that shit is, it's cool though. Like, I mean, you know, we know who most of the pedophiles are. They're typically liberals. All you got to do is watch To Catch a Predator on YouTube. Go look it up and look at how they look. They have a little septum nose piercing. They have blue hair. They have weird little shit going on. You can tell by looking at a person if they're a conservative or if they're a liberal. A lot of times.
Yeah. If they react like this, they're probably a liberal.
Yeah. They start throwing their arm up, and you know, probably a liberal.
Conservative. Because don't get me wrong, and you know too, like it's not like pedophiles are specified to any political party. There's conservative and Republican ones too, unfortunately, of course. Yeah. But they're gonna probably want to punch you in the face and fight you, not cry like.
Yeah. They're not gonna start crying. My life is over. And start flipping the fuck out, having a panic attack, faking like they had a seizure, faking they passed out. Like, it's insane to me. All right, so what we're gonna do? We're gonna finish this one up, and the time is running way faster than I thought it would, man. I love having you on the show, man. I'm gonna have to bring you up again because we're having some good shows. So we're gonna finish this one up.
Like it.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a great one. We'll finish this video up, and then we'll probably wrap it up. I was gonna bring up that AI situation, but I'll probably save it for a different one because we're already on here for about an hour and a half. So we'll probably finish off with it.
I didn't look into it, so I ain't complaining on that one.
Man, me neither. I just seen it. It was like, shit, let's talk about that. You know, but I didn't realize there would be this much to talk about the Fauci situation because, like I said, I normally don't have another political commentator with me. I normally have somebody who doesn't really talk politics as much, so I don't really get to get my rocks off as much, like a back and forth bouncing off each other. So it's pretty refreshing. Don't get me wrong. I love my boy Dez. He's still good. But I'm definitely going to have you on the show some more, man. For sure. If you ever want to come on, you're welcome.
I'm all for it. I'm looking forward to seeing some feedback, too, see if people enjoyed it.
Definitely. Real quick, before we get into this next video, once again, hit that like button. Hit that share button. Go ahead and follow my boy Back to the Basics on Facebook. Do you have a YouTube?
I do, but I kind of strayed away from it a little bit to focus on the basically on TikTok, here on Facebook and Instagram.
Cool. Well, let us know all your
back to basics.
Back to basics. Cool. All right, y'all. Now that y'all know where to find them at, let's finish this up and let's continue this great show.
AID, but it was absolutely disgusting. And I wanted the American people to know that there are researchers that are out there doing this.
Yeah, it was fascinating. You went into great detail about that. And, that meant that wouldn't have been covered by a presidential pardon. I mean, if he had wanted to say anything he could have said about that, I would imagine that would have been just fine, according to what he thinks he can do. Let's get into that, though.
Right.
So there's a vote next week, according to Senator Rand Paul, on contempt having to do with Dr. Fauci. Did you and other senators, what can you share about the conversation? Did that happen before all of these 111 pleading the fifth moments, or did you decide that during, after? How did that come about?
Yes, and I believe that through the course of the day, because of course we didn't know for certain going into that hearing whether he would plead the fifth, although many of us thought that he would. So through the course of today's questioning, obviously he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights 111 times. And then towards the end of my questioning as well, I asked that the chairman direct Dr. Fauci to answer the questions and why he thought he was covered by the Fifth Amendment, but he continued to invoke the Fifth. So we will take a look at that, explore those opportunities, but absolutely we should do everything we can to make sure that Dr. Fauci is being held accountable for his misleading the American people during the COVID-19 pandemic.
How important was it today just to get this part on the record if some of you had already anticipated that he would invoke the Fifth Amendment?
Yeah, Harris, incredibly important that we display to the American people that those that are most trusted in our federal government, and at that time it was Dr. Fauci, how someone with that power and that authority can absolutely lock down an entire country. And
all right. I feel like that's pretty much all they're really going to say in here is elaborate on what we've already been saying.
But she answered my question from earlier when I asked you what you thought they were going to do next. So I guess it looks like their next step is going to be to try to get him for contempt.
Yeah, that would be nice if they would do that. It didn't feel like it though, and that was what was so weird to me is it felt like there was no real consequences at all. And I get that they can do it afterwards, but I feel as if there should be some type of show of, look, we're not going for that here. We're not doing this today. You betrayed the American people. It's time for you to answer for it. We don't care about no pleading the fifth. You have a pardon. I feel like that should have been stated and reiterated more often during the time. And to hold him to contempt now, yeah, I guess, sure. If you want to say that will make a difference, sure. But is he really going to change much? Probably not. Oh, I just dropped it off. You should still be there. You can't see anymore? You still here? I can hear noise in your mic and I can see you.
Can't hear nothing.
Oh, you can't hear. Well,
whatever you did, I can't hear nothing. I don't know if you can hear me.
Can you hear me now? All our, let me see.
Man. I got you.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. Well, since we have a slight little
I don't know if
technical
anyone can hear
difficulty.
me. Thank you very much. I can't hear you no more. I'm going to cut out. I appreciate you, brother, and I hope to come on again.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely have you again, man. Salute. But yeah, y'all, everybody, thank you for tuning in today. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, man. My camera got cut off, so I'm on this crappy webcam. Of course, my boy Back to the Basics, he just had some audio issues. So we had a good live stream, though, y'all. I appreciate everybody in the comments. I appreciate everybody tuning in, all you second comers, the people who just came in for the first time. What I'm trying to do every Wednesday from now on is do essentially a guest every Wednesday. So this upcoming Wednesday, I'm going to have probably another one of my creators in the network I spoke to earlier, Ronnie, come in and join the chat. And then on the 12th, Wednesday the 12th, what we're going to do is we're going to be interviewing another politician. Well, somebody who's running for a political office. So we're going to be interviewing them on Wednesday the 12th. So that should be a good show. Definitely tune in for that. But as you guys know, I'm on here every Monday, every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. And then as well, Saturdays at 11 a.m. every week. So if you ever want to catch a good show, you ever want to talk about what's going on, you ever want to let me know what you want to talk about, drop it in the chat. Come on and come see us. And if you ever want me to talk about something that maybe I haven't talked about or you haven't seen me post it yet, drop it in my DM. And maybe, we could pull up your topic in the live stream next week. So thank you guys for tuning in again. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. And you guys have a blessed one. I'm going to play this music so you guys can listen to my new song that I wrote last week. And let me know if you guys like it in the comments. If you have anything else here, I'm going to be just having it going. I'll probably comment back to you guys if you guys have anything, any questions, anything that you actually need a response on. But you guys have a blessed one. Thank you for tuning in again. And let me know how you like this song.
America's beautiful, the greatest place to be. I've been waking up early, there's a vision to achieve, a future to be built for my kids and my family. Don't want to hear their lectures, they won't control me. I keep speaking how I feel and saying what I see. They want to shut us up, but I don't scare easily. I'm a proud patriot, stand on the freedom of speech. Never been the type to ever bend a knee. They want to use rhetoric, call me Uncle Tom. When I tell them let's build and move on, I ain't chasing lights, I'm chasing something real. Grinding for my family, that's the only deal. Every morning's a fight before the sun's even up. Coffee black, mind sharp, already had enough of the noise of the games of the same old song. I know who I am and I know where I belong. I don't need your label to tell me I'm free. They keep spinning stories, keep painting me wrong. But I keep my head up, keep marching along. Can't buy my silence, can't buy my vote. I write my own verses, I steer my own boat. They call it division just cause I disagree. Funny how unity only goes one way to me. I love this country enough to speak the truth out loud. Not the kind of patriot that just follows the I've been waking up early, there's a vision to achieve, a future to be built for my kids and my family. Don't wanna hear their lectures, they won't control me. I keep speaking how I feel and saying what I see. They wanna shut us up, but I don't scare easily. I'm a proud patriot, stand on the freedom of speech. Never been the type to ever bend the knee.
hear that? Yeah.
You hear that? That's the sound of the front door closed. Should've knock, climbed to the window. Don't blame me, that's just how the story goes. You hear that? That's the sound of the front door closed. Should've knock, climbed to the window. Don't blame me, that's just how the story goes. I'm a proud American, bleed red, white, and blue. I say the quiet part out loud, cause I'm speaking the truth. Ain't sorry for a border, ain't sorry for a fence. Ain't sorry for the law, making plain sense. There's a front door standing wide open, been there for years. Paperwork, patience, background checks, no tears. But now you want it quick, you want it now. So you climbed on through and you still want sympathy. How? No apology, no, not today. Law's the law around here, that's all I gotta say. You hear that? That's the sound of the front door closed. Should've knock, climbed to the window. Don't blame me, that's just how the story goes. You hear that? That's the sound of the front door closed. Should've knock, climbed to the window. Don't blame me, that's just how the story goes. Don't get mad when we back to blue. Don't get mad when the answers deport you too. You want my tax dollars, want the benefits stacked. Want your baby born here so you don't have to go back. No, hell no, that ain't how it goes. You overstayed your welcome, now it's time you go. Don't blame me, that's just how the law goes. You can come back but not without getting citizenship. You don't love this country, you love what it can give. You don't love the check, love the free ride, not the way we live. You hear that? That's the sound of the front door closed. Should've knock, climbed to the window. Don't blame me, that's just how the story goes. You hear that? That's the sound of the front door closed. Should've knock, climbed to the window. Don't blame me, that's just how the story goes. Call me country, call me cold, call me hard to hear. I call it common sense, been saying it for years. Truck still runs, flag still flies. Law's a law, that ain't a compromise. You hear that? Yeah. That's the front door closed. Should've not. That's just how the story goes.